Alright guys, welcome back. So today we're talking about THETA'S cross-chain bridge, which is now on. That makes Theta Ethereum compatible. In addition, we're also going to talk about THETA'S new patent, which is going to kill any competitors now and in the future. So for those of you who are new or who are returning viewers but not subscribers, make sure to smash the like button and smash the subscribe button. And what we're going to talk about today is we're really going to dig deep into this new patent, what it's all about. We're going to be defining what CDNs are, what P2P is, and how this whole entire thing ties together, because Theta is one of those tokens, one of those projects that I think is really undervalued. People are sleeping on it, not knowing the fact that Theta is going to be one of those projects that is going to power the metaverse. And if you haven't checked out my last video here, make sure to check that one out after this video. I'll be honest with you guys, day by day, every single day, I am just waiting for that Theta retracement to go back to the 5618 on the Fibonacci so I can get me some. So let's talk about Theta's latest patent. So Theta has been awarded the methods and systems for data caching and delivery over a decentralized edge network. And their edge network that was described in the patent is a multi-layer global cache comprising peers, edge nodes, and CDN servers. And this is one of the things that I really like about Theta, because they do things right. They actually get patents for the innovations that they're making in order to protect their intellectual property. The new patent is added to their portfolio of patents, so it's not the only patent that they have, to further differentiate and protect the Theta technology and ecosystem. So what is the edge network? The edge network is literally made up of P2P connections. Simply, it's people sharing data with one another. And on top of that is a content delivery network, which we can call a CDN, and that would provide data to people when everybody else don't have the data. And what the patent does is that it basically protects the methods, the technology, the innovation that they had when it comes to optimizing P2P video or data sharing. For example, for live streamed videos, the technology will actually know which video is popular and cache that. And in layman terms, what that basically means is that this cache video that everybody wants to watch, it is cheaper to access that video for everybody than it is for other videos that may not be that popular. But this network isn't just all that. It combines people, you and I, and our computing resources that are in our computers and CDNs to achieve high scalability and high availability. And just as a comparison, so right now, video platforms, all they use are CDNs. They don't use the computing resources from you and I. And these streaming platforms like YouTube, they pay a fortune for those CDNs. And what Theta allows us to do is it basically allows consumers like you and I to take part of that fortune that YouTube, Netflix are paying to the CDN, because now it can bring us into the game. Whereas without Theta, we're not in the game. We're not making the money that YouTube is paying these CDNs, when with Theta, we can. Now, I covered this before in my last video, but Meter, which is a cross-chain bridge connecting different blockchains like Ethereum, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, has now added support for Theta blockchain. This means that finally, tokens can be moved between Theta and other blockchains. What this means is that Ethereum developers who are focused on entertainment and media can now easily develop on Theta with full access to interoperability across networks. So just imagine that the assets that you have on, say, like Ethereum or Solana or Phantom, Avalanche, tokens that are built there, the projects that are built there can now be moved over to Theta, because Theta is now live. This Meter cross-chain bridge is live on Mainnet. So let's talk about the vision. So what I just went through was pretty understandable, right? It's not like you need a computer science degree. It's not like it's rocket science. It's simple. It's like math. It's like 2 + 2 = 5. And I can do math right. I'm just seeing if you were paying attention. But seriously, I can understand if your head is spinning, because things can get technical even with the mention of P2P or CDN for most people. So right now, let's break down some terms like P2P, which stands for peer-to-peer. So the best resource to learn about this stuff is Investopedia. So how they define peer-to-peer, P2P economy is, we could use this definition. A peer-to-peer, P2P economy is a decentralized model whereby two individuals interact to buy, sell goods and services directly with each other, or produce goods and services together without an intermediary third party or the use of an incorporated entity or business firm. So if we use the example of, let's say, PayPal or Venmo, that's peer-to-peer if we exclude the company or the business behind it. What you're doing is you're directly sending money from your bank or your wallet on Venmo or PayPal directly to your friend's wallet or bank. Or another example is when you're paying directly in cash. That's the best example of peer-to-peer because what you're doing is for a service or for a product, you're directly handing the money to the other person, which is peer-to-peer, right? So it's basically a one-to-one relationship. There's no go through this middleman in order to get your money like a lot of transactions is directly between two people. That's what I call a one-to-one relationship. And in some ways, I really think that marriages are also peer-to-peer. Unless you're polyamorous or polygamous or something, then that is not peer-to-peer. That is one lucky fellow. Now let's break down the term CDN or content distribution network. So using the same analogy, then banks are kind of like content distribution networks because what they do is they lend people money. So what it is, it's basically a one-to-many relationship because let's say that there's 10 people and they all go to the bank to ask for money. That bank is lending to multiple people. So it's a one-to-many relationship. And people go to the bank to get money, right? So it's kind of like us going to YouTube in order to get our video streams. So that's pretty much the same thing as what Theta's recent patent covers. People go to the bank or CDN to get the video stream that they want to watch. And let's say that what they give us back is the video, which we can say is money, and we can call that video an asset. Then what happens? Then we have these people watching the video on their computer, and the smart thing is the Theta network knows this. They know that you're watching Squid Game on your computer, or they know that you're on Pornhub on your computer. Now, what happens is that maybe your neighbor also wants to watch Squid Game or whatever porn you're watching. But the thing is, it's not on their computer. They didn't download it yet. They didn't stream it yet. And the smart thing is, Theta knows this. Theta knows that your neighbor wants to watch Squid Games or that other video that you might be watching. And if the site that they're on is supported by Theta, then Theta will automatically make it peer-to-peer. So what happens is that the neighbor, instead of going to the bank like what we do now to get our video, they will get their streams, they will get their video from the neighbor, from you, because Theta knows that Squid Game is on your computer, so they know that it is cheaper to get it from your computer than actually driving 20 miles to go to the bank. So the innovation here is you don't need to go to Blockbuster or the bank in order to get the video that you want to watch anymore. You can just get it from your neighbor. And does Theta know that you're watching some dirty movies behind the back of your mother? Yes, they do. But the thing is, your mothers probably want to watch the same thing. And to think about it, if you think about it this way, isn't it much cheaper? Because instead of getting in your car, wasting time and gas, driving to the bank, which is 20 miles away, you can just get your video from your neighbor. And they're gonna cut you a better deal because they're your neighbors. Well, that is unless your neighbor is Newman, then I think the bank will probably give you a better deal. So to make it completely clear what is happening, this is the figure from the patent, and we get to really just take a look at what's happening. So what is happening is that the video platform is basically giving Alice the video. And Alice can actually send that video over to Bob and Carol. So you can see this in the transactions here. This one here, they're passing a video file from Alice to Bob. Bob pays Alice. They're sending the second segment to Bob. Bob pays Alice again. And they're doing the same to Carol. Send the video file to Carol. Carol pays Alice. Send the video segment number 2 to Alice or to Carol. And Carol pays Alice. So that's pretty much how it works. So Alice is now a CDN. And like the video platform who pays CDNs, Alice will now be paid. And Alice will probably get paid in T-Fuel right now. But right now, without Theta, that's not the case. For the video streaming platforms that we use, like what you're using right now with YouTube, that's not the case because what we do is every single one of us goes to the CDN directly. And that is more expensive, right? Because you're basically driving to the bank. When you can get it from your neighbor, what's more efficient? So I kind of hope that makes some sense for you to really make a sense of what Theta is all about. And if it still doesn't make sense, then probably Theta is not for you and you should probably invest in GameStop. Now, if you do understand everything that what just went on, then I want you to imagine using Theta, using this kind of technology for all sorts of applications. Not just movies, but what about music, art, the metaverse, gaming? Because what's all in common between all of them? And that's data. And all of that data can be delivered and received just like how we described it in the patent. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you for today for the Theta update and what was new about the patent and the vision behind Theta. If you've enjoyed this video, if you learned something, then please don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies, passive income, and Theta, and I'll see you next time. Peace! you.